Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Taste Challenge. This is Tuesday, February 18th, 2020. I did a Dawn Busters. This is to make up an upcoming day where I know I'm not going to have, or I probably believe have time to do a taste challenge. And if I notice I'm not going to have time or I have to rush it or whatever, I'll just double up. Let me check this off for that date. I know that one's done. Good. Now I only have two. Uh-oh. Ha ha ha. And blah, 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 blah. 3 to make up. Oh, that's right. I got next week. That won't be a problem. I got it. All right. Forgot next week is still February. Okay. Ronnie S says, Ron Rio, my favorite. Yeah, until you try it. He's laughing and making a joke, but he never actually had to deal with it. All right. So here's the story. I hear that lady out. I see that lady. I hear her and see her. She's across the street cutting grass. I don't know how she's can tolerate mowing the lawn in this damp weather where the grass is still kind of soaked. I can't stand to cut wet grass. So maybe later this afternoon when it dries up. If it dries up, I'll cut it. If not, I'll wait till tomorrow. But I really like to do it today since I already edged it. Once it dries up, I mean, I can get it done in less than an hour tops, you know. But and I would be pushing it. But you say I don't care about your grass cutting issues. This is not a vlog, right? Don't you always say that you don't watch vlogs? It's true. I always say that I don't watch vlogs. People will say, guess what I'm doing this weekend, folks? And they'll have a video about them going camping. I never watched that. All right. I should try it sometimes. Yeah, you should if you want to enjoy being miserable. All right. Anyway, you say you're judging it before you review it. I am judging it, but I've already reviewed it, and it is. We'll get to that. All right. So Palo Viejo, credible product. Bottled by Munson Shaw in Deerfield, Illinois, but it's produced in Puerto Rico by Barcelo Marcos in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was introduced in 1906. Trademark, first used in commerce, 1906. Yeah. Old brand. Well, this one's 45 years old. I see the paper starting to come loose. Ron Rio, Caribbean rum. They're both 80 proof. Now, the packaging is nice. Got a beautiful clipper ship, Caribbean rum. You know, it's got some medallions implying that there's medals they won, which they never did. Kind of like the Palo Viejo. Look at all the gold medals that we actually never won. These are not real gold medals. All right, but people buying stuff, they just don't check it out. You know what I mean? Like Walt said about Tom Hayden, check him out. All right. Anyway, look, this is not going to be a taste challenge. There will be nothing challenging about it. It might be a challenge to watch it. Anonymous Coward says, cheers. Hey, cheers to you. Thanks for watching. Coughing a little bit. It might be a challenge to watch it, but it ain't going to be a challenge to tell them apart. Well, let's get started for what it's worth. Let me make sure about those days that's bothering me. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Yeah, I'm correct, unless I did a mistake somewhere, but I don't think I did. I think it's 3 days to make up, so I can make. Okay, so today I'm making up that date, and then that day I make up that date. That day I make up that date, and that day I make up that date. Okay, yeah, I got it. Unless I get sick or something, I can't do it. But that would be the case anytime, right? So, all right, Palo Viejo, the old wood, the old tree, old guy. It's got a little bit of a yellow tint to it. I mean, it's 95% or higher than that. Not yellowish, but if you look very carefully, there's the slightest little bit of yellow. It could be in my mind, but I don't think it's. I think it's in my eyes, which are connected to my mind through nerves. Okay. Here we go. Well, I've got about 20% of the Run Rio done. I only got 80% left. Only 80. Yikes. I'll say one thing about Ron Rio. It's sort of like For Loco Gold. You probably ain't going to like it, but you're never going to forget it. Ronnie, have you seen The Irishman on Netflix? I just watched it last night. Good movie. I was trying to watch it. I watched the first 30 minutes, but I couldn't take it. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. All right. I don't even like movies. So that's not fair for me to judge a movie. I don't even like movies. Although there's some movies I do like that I know a lot about and like I talk about constantly, but generally I don't like movies. I don't care what genre. Now, documentary films, I like documentaries, but that's not really a movie. That's just a audio visual like school lesson or something. Although they're usually biased, but then, that's par for the course. You can kind of see through the bias sometimes and you can get a better understanding. But no, The Irishman I did not like. In fact, I turned it off. But that's me. We're all different. You might like Ron Rio, but I doubt it. I know you into the mob style movies. I'm not really into mob style movies, actually. Like there's so many I could name that I never watched. And then I watched little pieces of them and I thought, nah, I don't like that. There's a handful, Donnie Brasco, which is more like an FBI movie about how they infiltrated the mafia, which was interesting. And then there's, of course, Godfather Part 2, Scarface, what you call it? Goodfellas, a Casino. I like those. But I don't really like any of the others. Now, I did watch a good amount of a movie from 1976 called The Death Collector, not Debt Collector, Death Collector. There's an alternative title to it. And Frank Vincent and Joe Pesci were in it. Now, people will say starring Frank Vincent and Joe Pesci. No, it wasn't starring them, but they were in it. And if you watch it carefully, you can see how maybe some other director got a lot of the ideas from that movie to make another movie of which I will never mention right now, 14 years later. So that's very interesting. And I do like Taxi Driver, which is not really a gangster movie, although it involves organized crime and organized political crime, perhaps. And it's even, that movie even alludes to some other kind of crimes that are not mentioned in the film directly, but it alludes to why certain behaviors are taking place in the movie. But anyway, it's a very strange film. All right. But generally, I don't like movies. I like rum. Don't drink it. This is the truth. I don't drink rum aside from doing taste challenges. I don't drink liquor aside. I don't drink whiskey or brandy aside from doing taste challenges or reviews, like an independent review, or do a review with my friend David or whoever else wants to do it. My daughter sometimes does it. You might say you lie, you drink all day. You lie. Well, I'm just telling you the truth. Whether you believe it or not, it's immaterial to me. I mean, I'm sorry you don't believe me, but I'm telling you the facts. If I did drink liquor, rum, bourbon, brandy, gin, off air, I would just say it. All right. I drink beer when I'm not making videos, and I admit that. Drink wine when I'm not making videos, I admit it. Okay. I don't hide these things. Okay. What was the name of that movie? Oh, the one I was talking about from 1976, The Debt Collector. It's a very low budget film. It was made without a lot of funding, but some good movies are made without any kind of budget. They have very good movies that are made without any kind of decent budget. And then they have some very high ticket movies that are just terrible. Like I watched this movie about this ship that wrecked. It's a 1997 movie. It was a super high budget movie and it made a lot of money. But I thought it was just a horrible movie. It's just terrible acting, terrible plot, terrible ending, terrible. Everything was terrible about it. But all these girls went to see it. Oh, I loved I don't even get to that. That was we got a lot of conspiracy theories about that movie in front of myself and I, but I watched that movie. I had to roll my eyes. I said, "This is so bad." Oh, and this is so bad. This is not as bad as that movie, but this is bad. This smells like, and I'm not trying to be cheeky or arrogant or what did somebody tell me in a message earlier today? Pretentious. I don't even know what that means, really. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know what it means in context with me because, you know, Natural Light Taste Challenge or Extra Gold Lager ain't exactly pretentious. Or these two cheap rums that were $6.99 a liter. I mean, you know, come on, man. Come on, man. This smells like Roundup and bag gas, which is rancid sugarcane stalks, which all during the fall, I saw those trucks coming up and down the U.S. Highway 61. Now, when they first cut them, you know, it won't smell, but let it set for a day. Like if they just drop the truck off for a day and the sun hits it and it starts to heat up, oh boy, you better run. Hello, Ron, says Maxwell. Hello to you. So, Maxwell in the Russian Federation. So this smells so wrong. Oh. Have I smelled beers that smelled rancid? Yes. Unfortunately, I drank one and it made me throw up, vomit, puke, whatever you want to call it. This one did not make me sick. I have been sipping on it and it does not make me ill. Although when you smell it, it smells like it should make you ill. Come on, man. Joe Biden 2019, right. That one just smells like sweet, charcoal filtered, oak barreled, aged white rum, or really clear rum. They call it silver rum, light rum. It sounds better than saying clear rum, right? Just like light beer. People say light beer. I'm going to go drink some light beer. They don't ever market it as thin beer, right? You never hear the new Miller thin beer. No. It's all about how you frame it. Okay. I remember years and years ago, this woman, she's trying to, relatives, you know, she's trying to get this toddler to eat his food. I can't eat it. You know, they always say that kids like, I can't do it. I mean, they could do it. They just don't want to. Or I got to have it like a toy. I got to have it. You don't have to have it. You want it. They don't use those terms right. So you say, I can't do it. And this went on for like 45 minutes. I'm trying to watch this football game and I just couldn't concentrate on it. I was like, okay. So I get up there and I tell the little kid, 2 years old or 3. At the most, he was 3. I said, I bet you can't eat. You know, what did I tell him? So it's like this power struggle, you know, between them. It wasn't like she could force him to eat it, you know. So I said, I bet you can't handle hot sauce. And he said, I bet you I could. I bet you I could eat hot sauce. And they're like, you can't give that child hot sauce? I say, it's crystal hot sauce. It's not even hot. I tell them, quiet. I'm doing my psychological warfare over here. So I was telling the little toddler, I said, I bet you can't handle hot sauce. Yeah, I bet I could. So I'm putting the hot sauce on all his food and he's eating it. See, it's not even really hot to me. He's eating it. And he ate the whole plate just to prove to me that he couldn't eat hot sauce. When 2 minutes before, he was in this struggle that he couldn't eat it because his grandma wanted him to eat it. And I was like, see how what I just said is how you frame it. Tastes great, less filling, right? All right, so this one tastes like normal. But guys' eyes are normal. This tastes like normal rum, all right? I mean, it's not like, oh, it's so fabulous, I can't believe it. It's just like normal. Wood, sugar, light molasses, charcoal, barrel, you know, the same thing I keep saying. Captain Morgan, white, same thing. Bacardi, Superior, same thing. I mean, you're gonna pay more for those. I don't know why you would. You get a prettier bottle or something, but same. Go make a banana daiquiri. All right, this thing. It's like I keep talking because I'm trying to get mentally fortified to do it, trying to delay it. Ouch. No. Like from 1994. Why? Why? I mean, come on. It's really funny in a way when you drink it because it's like you're thinking, this actually exists. It's on the shelf. People buy it. It's like she's cutting that grass. It tastes like that. It tastes like when people cut grass, you know, and it has that cut lawnmower, cut grass smell taste. Ah. And they have a website and they're talking about it. Look, I'm looking at the website now. That's a prettier bottle with the what you call that? Embossed diamond top, whatever. But that's a 750. I guess for the liter, they got the smooth shoulders. It says made with 5 times distilled Caribbean rum. I have no reason to believe that's untrue. Ron Rio rum evokes the relaxed lifestyle and fun of the islands. And to me, it evokes weed killer and rancid sugarcane stalks. Available in both medium-bodied gold, which I'd love to try just to see if it's this kind of fiasco, and the lightly sweet silver. Now, I'll agree with that. It is lightly sweet. Lightly sweet, but strongly offensive in the nose. I mean, if you want to go work at a chemical plant that makes weed killer and smell that, and you think that's healthy to smell, go ahead. But I don't know. I just had the feeling that inhaling like multiple volumes of weed killer fumes every day would not necessarily be good for your health. But, ow! I want to thank our friends at Monsanto for this. I can't say it's Monsanto, but golly. This rum, okay, Ron Rio rum is made from molasses refined from 100%, get it right, American sugarcane. All plausible. Well, that's making me think it's from Puerto Rico, you know, because they're saying American sugarcane, but then on the label it says imported. Actually, it doesn't say imported. It says bottled by Ron Rio Importers, Western Missouri. But that's McCormick. There ain't no Ron Rio website. All right. If you look up Ron Rio rum, it's going to link you right to McCormick. Says Caribbean rum. But then the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico is part of the Caribbean. I like the feel of the label. You can feel it. Like you can feel the letters and the artwork. It's rumpled. I mean, the bottle is nice. The label's nice. Everything's nice till you taste it. Well, actually, the taste is not as bad as the aroma. Oh, mama. I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Kyle, people probably buy it for mixed drinks, don't want to waste the good stuff. Yeah, but I don't understand that because it's $6.99 a liter. You could just buy any. There's so many other rums in Louisiana. I can't speak for other states. We get strangely low prices here, like oddly low. You know, like the prices are so low, it's not right. Like it shouldn't be that low. It could be because we're in a port. New Orleans, the river parishes up to Baton Rouge is a huge port. We get a lot of foreign products coming up the river. And so you're not shipping it on a truck to some other state. You're just getting it off the ship. I mean, it might be on a truck to the warehouse and then the store, but you understand what I'm saying. So it could be taking off a lot of costs. And it might be why we get so much variety because South Louisiana, and then it's like a fan. You got all these routes going these directions to the rest of the United States. So I'm not complaining, obviously. I'm just saying the prices are strangely low. I don't see those prices anywhere else. Houston is a big port. But I don't see those kind of really crazy prices in Houston. Houston's right next to the Gulf of Mexico, so I don't know. I don't get it. In Texas, lots of cheap alcohol here. Yeah, I mean, Texas is close. It's not as close, but it's not quite as cheap as Louisiana. But you get some pretty good deals. Mississippi, too, even though they're... Now, once you get to Alabama, forget it. It's a clip joint, you know. I wouldn't buy liquor in Alabama. I could be the worst alcoholic in the world. I could be shaking like, I gotta have my drink, and I still wouldn't buy it. I'd just wait till I'd either die or get across the border to Mississippi and buy the liquor. The homie, let's see, PWM says, the homie, drinking a Southern Tier. What are you sipping on? I'm doing rum. Oh, yeah, Southern Tier. We used to get those great, wonderful beers in Louisiana. Sadly, that corporation, that conglomerate of different craft breweries no longer sells down here. Port of Tampa. I wasn't totally put off by Florida prices. I wasn't in love with them. But when I went to St. Petersburg, which is part of the Port of Tampa complex, I have been to Tampa, yes. But I've spent much more time in St. Petersburg because of the baseball, the Rays. And yeah, the prices are not bad. They're not bad, actually. They're not terrifically fabulous. But on the other hand, they're not bad. They're not bad. I went to Memphis, Tennessee. Oh, I said, are you crazy? I told my friend David, let's get out of here. Those prices were madness. I said, you could get this thing for like $8 cheaper in Louisiana. He's like, let's get out of here. I was like, let's go. Now, the beer prices, no, they were good. They were good. Good. But liquor, no way. Now, Kentucky, the prices are really cheap because it makes so much bourbon up there. I mean, it's right there. I mean, in Kentucky, it's great. That's a paradise for buying bourbon, at least, and blended bourbon and blended whiskey. Oh, man. Golly gee. I don't know about rum. That is so wrong. It tastes like grass. You say, oh, grass, 420, bro. I get it, man. I'm down with that. No, I mean like literal grass from your backyard. Yikes. It's so bad, it's almost like you admire it for having the gall to be on the shelf. This is good. Good, enjoyable, pleasant, well done, hits all the right points. It's so good, it's like boring. You know, there's no challenge to it. It's just like, yeah, it's a really good rum. Yeah, it could be utilized in so many ways. Yeah, it's like a fantastic value for $6.99 a liter. Yada, 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 as they say in New York. But it's just upper level mediocrity, you know, like they used to complain about Philip Fulmer at Tennessee with their football team, University of Tennessee football. I was listening to the radio. I always listen to these radio shows when I'm driving on a road trip. And that guy was calling in on a radio show. The man's a goof. He's saying, the man's a goof. I'm tired of this upper level mediocrity. Got to get rid of the guy. So they got rid of Philip Fulmer and had nothing since. They went from upper level mediocrity, going to a bowl game every year, having a winning record, winning 10, 9, 8, 11, 10, 11, 12, 9, 8, 11 games a year, to winning 3, 4, 7, 6, 5, 6, 8, 4, 7 games a year. So sometimes watch out what you wish for because you might get it. I'll never forget that phone call. I had to laugh. It's almost like exquisitely bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like you almost admire its horrendous quality. You almost admire its horrendous quality. It's kind of like in that movie Alien, where and I don't like movies, but that movie Alien where they told Ash, the robot, that was what's her name that said that. She said, you admire it. I mean, you're admiring a murderous monster that kills for no purpose. And then Ash, the robot, said, I admire its purity. So with this, you almost admire its caustic. Like I said before, it's gall. The gall to be on the shelf. To be on the shelf with a straight face. You almost have to admire that. Oh, I'm so glad I'm finished with it. It just makes you want to kill. That is unthinkable. I almost called her Jonesy, but Jonesy was the cat. Well, of course, it's Ripley. Ripley. Alabama. Okay, let's see. Alabama was cheap when I was there. It was. Oh yeah, I got a $4.99. $4.99. Oh, what am I saying? $3.99, half fifth of Club 400 blended American whiskey. Club 400 from Baltimore County, Maryland. Not bad, actually. Pretty interesting product. So I said, $3.99. I'll buy it. Man, the thing rang up. It was like $6.59 or $6.79. I was like, this thing was $3.99. Why am I paying nearly twice the price? The taxes. You gotta pay the taxes. I was like, nah. I told my daughter, I said, I couldn't believe this. This is outrageous. She said, oh, that's how Alabama is. They're out of control. She said, I buy liquor in Louisiana and ship it back, you know? It's like craziness. I've got the Southern Tier 2X IPA. I enjoy the flavor of this one. Oh, that's a jewel. That is a great IPA. That is a fabulous IPA. I loved it. But then, of course, I can't get it for the last 6 years. But boy, oh boy, what a wonderful beer. You'll never hear me saying anything bad about it. No way. Florida was horrible. $3.19 for a 24-ounce of Corona. Oh, that's bad. I enjoyed a grass, too, but we're not all skeevy. I don't understand that terminology. Back to work. Talk to you later, Ron. Okay, Ronnie, yes, back to work. Well, I'm off of work today, obviously. It's mid-morning. I'm not at work. But I work. I have a job, in case you're wondering. But, man, oh, man. You know how you feel? Well, I feel worse than that because I'm drinking Ron Rio. Well, I finished Ron Rio. Oh, no. Hey, you guys. Well, luckily, the good thing about Ron Rio is I only have to sip on a half a glass every time I go around the horn, as they say on ESPN, every time I go around the horn and hit it on a taste challenge. The good thing about that, how often am I doing a white rum taste challenge? A couple of times a year. So worst case scenario, I got to sample it 3 times a year. Best case scenario, I only have to sample it 2 times a year, which is, oh, my lungs. It's getting better though. But more likely to be twice a year. So I hate you, Ron Rio. I hate you. Is it the worst rum I've ever had? Oh, without any kind of qualifications. It's the absolute worst thing I've ever tried in the world of rum. It is a nightmare, a monstrosity, an atrocity of mankind. And I don't say those kind of things. Y'all know me. I give like low-grade stuff pretty good scores. I mean, I got Natural Light. I'm sorry. I got Natural Ice scored at A-. I love Natural Light. Ice. I'll get it right. Natural Ice is a fabulous beer for what you're paying. But this thing, try as you might, you cannot justify it. You know what I'm saying? But Palo Viejo needs no justification. It just wins. It wins on its own merits. It's good from start, middle to finish. There are no flaws. I could sit here like a big, like somebody told me this morning, pretentious person, like I'm a big expert, and try to pick it apart. Oh, well, I drank rum when I was with Otto of Austria, you know, the son of the last emperor. We had a meeting in 26. We were talking about rum in Austria at the Hof Palace. And all. It's like, okay, whatever. But really, in reality, I could not tear it apart. The Palo Viejo is a dynamite rum. It's $6.99 a liter in Louisiana, and it is a total winner. You would have to really, like Jesus said, strain at a gnat to find fault with it. And I'm not saying that to be cheeky or, you know, or flip or what you say, what do people call that? Another word for flip. I'm not saying it to be that. I really believe that it's really that good. I think in the rum world, especially white rum, I mean gold rum, it gets a little shaky, a little touchy. But in the white rum world, you can get some really good values for $6.99 a liter. I'm talking about Louisiana. I can't speak for other states. I don't live in other states. But then you can run across some degraded stuff like Ron Rio, but it's very uncommon. It's very uncommon. This is actually the first one. And you know how many I've got. The first one I've tried that has been just a fiasco. And I think that's not bad, you know. So in the whiskey world, I've run across a lot more bad actors than this. I mean, in the whiskey world, I could just start ticking them off. Really bad products that should not be on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? You buy whiskey, it should not taste like honeydew melon, all right? And I can just start naming them. I'm not going to name names. It's not about whiskey, but I think with rum, you're on a lot safer foundation, a much more secure foundation. But then, of course, you have to consider that you're going to run across some bad boys, but it's not going to be too common. All right, so now the next one's coming up in a few days. I think I'm going to do Palo Viejo versus Bocador. That's going to be a tough challenge. Now, this was so easy, but Bocador is really good. I mean, really good. Those people over there at Charles Jacques Hennessy in Philadelphia, they got it going on. And I would be so curious to try all their products, but we just get a very limited supply here. So that's going to be a challenge. But then it's probably going to be a draw, which means that the Palo Viejo wins because it's $2 cheaper per liter. So, I mean, you know, hey, price matters for most Americans. The Captain Morgan would be the final contestant against Palo Viejo. I think Captain Morgan White is very good. I don't really think it has flaws, like I was saying about Palo Viejo. If you find flaws, you're just nitpicking. But then it's a lot more expensive because you're buying the name. So I think Palo Viejo is going to win by virtue of price, which has to be considered. Now, availability, it loses. I mean, with availability, Palo Viejo is it loses every time because you can't find it. In Louisiana, I've seen it at one store my whole life, and that was at the beverage store in Baton Rouge. But if it's at one place, like people tell me all the time, they say, if it's at one place, it's at another place, okay? Believe me, they're not putting it on one shelf. I know that. I realize that. But you're assuming I could go to every store, and I cannot. But, I mean, a thing like Captain Morgan, you can find, there's not a liquor store in Louisiana that doesn't have Captain Morgan White. You see what I'm saying? Every liquor store has that. And you're not going on some long, extended, drawn-out search. And I don't think anybody's going to do that anyway. I wouldn't do it. I don't ever search for these rums. I just be driving around, you know, and I just glance and see something. I say, woof, what is this? Ron Pontalba, never heard of it. What is this? Palo Viejo, never heard of it. And you know, things like that. So that's it. We ending the proceedings. And so Palo Viejo is a clear winner without any considerations. It's 100% a winner. 100% a winner. And the Ron Rio is a 100% loser. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have a perverse interest in bad things, which I understand a lot of people do. You got that website, the YouTube video, Reckless Eating, and which they have way more subscribers than me. But their whole, kind of like their whole working theory is to taste things that you shouldn't taste. And, you know, they're kind of jocular about it and funny. And, you know, I can understand it because they kind of take the same approach I take. But that's it. All right. So in 2 days in the morning, we're going to do bourbon. We got Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 versus Jim Beam Prohibition Repeal. Repeal batch. Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of a draw. I don't think the repeal batch is like the greatest thing, but it's only $12.97 $12.87 a bottle at Walmart. Jack Daniels be $21.99 at Walmart. So I guess the Jim Beam is going to win by virtue of price. But that's theory more than fact. I don't know that until I taste them, but that's my prediction. So remember that. You can call me out on it if you want. So my prediction is Jack Daniels Old Number 7 will not beat the Jim Beam repeal batch by virtue of price. It won't be based on flavor. The flavor and enjoyment level is going to be a draw. But price matters. Okay, thank you for watching this video production. We got a couple of more white rums, and then we're going to bring in Appleton Estate, which I just cannot wait. I've been hearing about that for years now. People tell me, when are you going to do Appleton Estate? When are you going to do Appleton Estate? And I kept saying, I never even heard of that. So when I started researching it and reading about the history, that this plantation in Jamaica goes back to the 1600s. And they've been distilling rum there since the 1600s. Well, I couldn't get over that. I was like, oh, this is serious. It's a very serious company. And if you look at their website, you will realize that this is no joke. This is a very serious company. And I just have the regular Appleton Estate. But they've got, oh, look, they've got expressions that'll cost you about $125. $125. I mean, the real stuff. You know what I mean? Not this knicky-knack stuff we playing around with. The real stuff. So it's a big deal. Can you buy alcohol 24 hours, 7 days a week in Louisiana? Oh, Anonymous Car says, great live stream. Have a nice day, all. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Well, yes and no, Kyle. There's no state law against 24 hours, 7 days a week sales. Okay. So then it would be based on the local government. In my parish, used to be years ago, you could buy liquor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no restrictions. But the sheriff's office was complaining, saying, oh, we're always making the arrest between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. They did a study and they found out that most of their arrests for like out of control behavior at a bar or daiquiri shop, you know what I'm saying, was between 2 a.m. 6 a.m. in the morning. So they presented their plan to the parish council, and I didn't support that because I'm not a regulator, you know, I don't support regulations. But the parish council said, okay, they passed an ordinance saying that they could not sell any liquor, beer, wine, or liquor, between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. So there's 4 hours a day you cannot buy liquor in this parish. Liquor, beer, or wine. 20 hours a day you can, 7 days a week. Baton Rouge Parish, you can't buy any liquor on Sunday before noon. No, I'm sorry, 1 in the afternoon. 1 p.m. in the afternoon. That goes back to the old blue laws where they said people should be at church or mass, pray in, go and eat lunch with the family. Then you buy your liquor at 1 p.m. That's a East Baton Rouge Parish. It might be in West Baton Rouge also, but I can't control that. But I remember that years ago, you couldn't buy any, and it's still in place. You can't buy. Now, if you had a restaurant, different stories. So, you know, it's like special interests have a pull. But in New Orleans Parish, I'm not aware of any restrictions. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Jefferson Parish, same thing, endless purchasing. In this parish, no. But the sheriff's office reported back later, and they said after they passed the ordinance that the incidences of arrests between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. did drop. So, hey, I don't work for the sheriff's office. Maybe it worked. I don't know. But anyway, that's a minor inconvenience because how many people are out there buying liquor, beer, and wine at 3:45 a.m.? It's a nominal amount. All right, that's it. Off, onward, and upward, and so on.